Hello, everyone. Very good morning. Welcome to today's webinar. So today we will be focusing more to familiarizing what University of Southampton is offering in Delhi. Also, when we are interacting with many of the candidates, applicants over the period of time. So there's a lot of questions on about the admissions process and the scholarships time to time. We thought we'll take an opportunity to bring in our most uh, you know experienced leaders that we have in the house to answer those queries. We structured those queries for them to bring it in front of you, and before they start interacting with you or answering those questions, I would take 10 minutes to introduce the what Southampton is doing, what we are offering, and what exactly that you should look forward to from University of Southampton in Delhi. And so we'll go about Q&A at the end of the session towards the last 10-15 minutes. In case of you have any questions, do post them in the Q&A box, our chat window. And if a question to me or any of the panelists, today's panelists, so do address them so that we will be able to answer those questions accordingly. My name is Giri Domalapati. I'm a deputy head here for outreach at University of Southampton Delhi campus. And I would like to start off now. Just give me a minute. Let me bring up my presentation. Okay, so without further delay, let me start today's session. Once again, thank you so much. Very good morning to all of you. It shows the commitment that you are putting in to explore the universities, to learn making your right choices. I hope this session will lead to that by end of this particular webinar. So to introduce to Southampton is pretty much top ranked global university. It comes with 160 years history in terms of, when we talk about the establishments, talk about the quality of education, quality of research that's been done. And it is one of the first campuses, international campuses to begin with in India. And it brings a lot of weightage in terms of what you need to look for the world class education standards. And to start with ranking is important, is just not because to put up the slides and to put up the talk about top ranking and all that, but you also need to understand what goes behind those rankings, like to start with research, faculty, the admissions process, quality peer group, outcomes, employability of the participants, and also the collaboration with the industry. There's a lot of aspects that goes into those rankings. So that's where the University of Southampton is able to rank top in all the charts, be it the overall universities ranking by the QS, top employability. If you look at, we are top 15 employable university in UK, and top 10 UK universities. We've been ranked, top 110 best universities in the world for the employability. So that is where you should look forward to when we talk about the ranking and what goes behind. I mean, definitely understanding will help you to make your choices right. And when it comes to the University of Southampton, it's a founding member of UK Research Intensive Research Group of universities. This particular group is equal to the Ivy League universities that you might keep hearing about from the US world. And Southampton making discoveries, pushing the boundaries, working in the human knowledge in AI and data science, sustainability, and engineering for the better health, and also the decarbonization, my bad. So this is one of the 17 universities that came together as a founding members of Russell Group, and we are the first university also to be part of to come to India as well. And this is a picture for you to understand what is the background to for University of Southampton to come to Delhi. There is a MOU signed between the Indian government and UK government, and to recognize the UK degrees as by the UGC here in India with the same qualification as any other UG or PG level. And if you understand that in UK university, we are offering 3 years UG programs with the honors, whereas in India it's 4 years. So you still be called, you have the UG degree with honors within 3 years. That's a major difference that you can look at, because that's a recognition that you have. We have 1 year masters as well, and these are equally called for masters as well, even though they're 1 year compared to our traditional 2 years as well. So most importantly, we are able to deliver our same curriculum, same pedagogy, and also have the uh, replicate or follow this same as what we offer in UK University. So that's a bottom line, but my colleagues here will add more to that. And in terms of the experience for the students at Delhi campus, it's a premium experience that you can expect, as similar to the any UK degree that you aspire for. And so the programs are designed, taught, assessed as same quality as UK University. And also the transcripts and degree will be awarded from the UK University, Southampton, University of Southampton. And also you will have the experience, similar experience, and you'll be part of the global alumni network as you graduate from the programs. And we follow, or we are very proud about the triple helix model that we follow, because when you think about the whole image, the people being centric to it, the whole education, research, and the knowledge exchange and the enterprise comes together to enable the people in terms of, through our education, that leads to the developing for the employable skills, right? So it's not about just learning from the experienced faculty, but also who are this faculty, how actively they involved in the research, are they having collaboration with the industry, bringing that learning into the classroom is very much important, because all your education is definitely to enable you to gain those employable skills, right? When we keep talking about employable skills, how do we map that, right? So any program that we design at university, we do focus on building and matching those skills mapping, right? That's the effort that goes in the background. One, you learn from the faculty here, you collaborate with the peer group, and you work on the projects, you focus on the dissertation. But end of the day, all those designed to achieve those certain skill set. So this is where we keep our standards, and this is where goals we have, and we keep monitoring those, how each student is progressing to meet those skill set while you're pursuing the programs at Southampton. When it comes to the advantage, like I mentioned earlier, you will be receiving the UG degree with the honors in 3 years duration. You don't have to spend extra year, fourth year, as compared to other degrees that is offered here. Similarly, 1 year master's program too. It's like I mentioned, like usually traditional programs goes for the 2 years, and whereas a master's 1 year here, that gives advantage extra 1 year for you to start your career, start earning as well. And for those UG students who ever studies at Delhi campus will have an opportunity to go for 1 semester to UK campus. Of course, there are certain parameters, certain criteria to meet. And also those UG students who complete UG degree here will straight away get their, guaranteed offer for PG programs that's offered at UK campus. And also we talk about the career services here. We have a professional sitting in the career advancement office, and they focus on helping you to build up your interview skills, and also they coach you in various activities to develop your employable skills as well. And there is a alumni mentorship actively happening even for the current students who are part of the PG program, so in order to help them to develop their employable skill set, and make them comfortable to do the do part when they get to be part of those interview opportunities there, right? So when it comes to the programs, like I mentioned, we offer 3 years UG degree, 1 year PG degree here. So we have 6 programs that are being offered in UG across accounting and finance, business management, computer science, economics, creative computing, software engineering. And when it comes to the PG programs, we have MSc degrees in international management, economics, finance, and data science. So these are the, like I mentioned, this curriculum, pedagogy, everything as similar as the UK campus, and the faculty importantly being having international teaching experience, and also having recruited, trained, some of them will be trained, interacted, collaborated with the UK campus all the time. And not just UK campus, we also have a campus in Malaysia. So there is a lot of collaboration goes throughout the teaching, research, and industry collaboration across 3 campuses. right? And if you, like I mentioned again, there is a mutual agreement between the UK and India to recognize these qualifications as similar to the any UG and master's programs within India. And the best part here is your learning doesn't stop at your classroom. It goes beyond your classrooms, right? Be it industry collaboration or the collaboration among the students, activities, clubs. So it goes through, although these programs are 3 years, 1 year, this goes as intense as possible, because intense is something, intensity increases for your benefit, right, in terms of learning. And also you'll be having opportunity to be part of a lot of clubs, societies. And if at all you, since we are a budding university now, in India, not as a university overall, we have pretty much 160 years of experience in teaching that best education. But however, you, as a being in a second year, third year, you will still have the opportunities to develop, to bring in your own clubs as well, right? So these are some of the activities that has been organized through the clubs, and this helps not only bringing the good environment among the students, but also makes it to connections which are going to have impact for the lifelong, right? So when it comes to the entry requirements, UG and PG has a different, of course, but however, when it comes to UG requirements, this is in front of you there. So we, for each of the central board or state board or Cambridge or IB, so we have different entry parameters here. Some of the programs requires certain percentages. Some of the programs require your 12th maths. Some programs require your just fine with your 10th maths. Like for example, creative computing, we may not look for your maths any even in the 10th and 12th as well. So however, we go with your 12th marks as a entry requirement. And we will not be requiring any other test scores, which doesn't mean that, which means that we will be looking at you as an individual, your 12 scores, and we do interact with you. We do look at your oral application and assess you based on that, and send roll and admissions offer for you. Similarly, PG programs requirement, you need to have any UG degree with around 65% of overall scores. And for both UG and PG, you should be able to have, we do have English language requirement there. And if that can be produced to your transcripts and through your school and colleges, that should be fine. Otherwise, you will have to submit our certain scores to meet your English proficiency as well. And it comes to tuition fee for UG per year, we are at this point in time, we are charging 13.86 lakhs. This is only tuition fee. Accommodation charges will be additional. And when it comes to PG, it depends on each of the programs. We're charging between from 16.17 to 23 lakhs. And so here we do have a lot of support for the students, not just through the collateral-free bank loans, but also scholarships, fundings, bursaries. So that is where I would like to invite my senior colleagues here today. Amit Tyagi, he is currently working as a director and outreach for marketing at University of Southampton Delhi campus. He comes with 20 years of experience in higher education, and he has worked with the top reputed institutions as well. And he's been great mentor for thousands of the folks. I would like to invite him to take the conversation forward, and how we are supporting the students through the scholarships and other funding facilities. Amit, you are on mute.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Giri, for that wonderful, informative and presentation for the audience. And now we come to the more interesting section of this webinar, where we have a conversation with my co-panelist Hansa Sachdeva. We have invited her to share her insights. Hansa has significant experience in the higher education sector. She's a growth strategist in the sector, having led admissions at marquee private universities in India. She has been associated with the University of Southampton Delhi project since inception, before we launched the campus itself. And as Director of Admissions and Marketing Initiatives Planning at University of Southampton, she aims to bring in developments that will bring about a new dynamism and energy to Indian higher education system in India. In her own words, she says that the University of Southampton will bring in new methods and new teaching curriculum to Indian students right here in India. And we'll hear more about that from her in today's conversation. Her alma mater, she has done her management degree from Faculty of Management Studies, Delhi University, and she's also a graduate from St. Stephen's College, Delhi University. She is also currently pursuing a doctoral program at the MDI Gurugram campus in India. And she has been a professor of practice at prestigious B schools and has a deep interest in instructional design. I'm sure she'll bring a lot of insights to this conversation today. She'll have a lot to share for the people who are part of this webinar and those who will be sharing, viewing this later on YouTube channels as well. So let's dive into the conversation. Hansa, as part of, as director for admissions, primarily, looking at admissions for University of Southampton Delhi now for the first and the second batch now. Let's have an overview of the admission process at University of Southampton Delhi campus. What should students look for? How should they go about it? Are there any nuances? Are there any pitfalls they should avoid? Let's hear it from you on the overview of how admissions, how should students approach the application process and the evaluation process as such for various programs.
Thanks, Amit, Giri, for setting the stage for the conversation that we're going to have today. As you mentioned, I think both you and I are very excited about having seen a whole new phase in education in India. And, while we've studied, I know, Amit, you've studied at very prestigious IIM. While we've studied and had the benefit of great education in India, we're looking to see what the next big thing will be for Indian education. So just as you said, in terms of admissions, I would say the approach is very different to what some of us may have already seen in our educational journeys so far. And frankly, we read those applications with one single perspective, which is how can we be sure that this person can be supported to succeed in a very different environment. So the fact is, as we came in under a line of policy in NEP 2020 and UGC regulations after that, there is an expectation that we will bring something different to Indian education. That holds true for admissions, right? And I think there the focus is on looking at, firstly, access. Does high quality superior education need to be limited to a few people, or can one actually deliver high quality at scale, opening up the doors to tremendous globally ranked education across India, right? The issue there is that we need to make sure that students are really well prepared to succeed in an environment that's rich with new opportunities, new experiences, but also new ways of learning. Right? So we do look at academics. And that's, I think, the bottom line that I can't really take away from. We look at academics. We look at consistency in academics, very importantly. And we look at how we can make that admissions process simpler, lighter, clearer than perhaps what some of us have been used to. Right? So the idea is, can education be more accessible and more student friendly? I want to say that there is a long history of admitting Indian students to our UK campuses. As most people attending will know, we have 9 campuses now across the world, with India auspiciously the 9th. And in that process, we have a very deep understanding of Indian education systems. So when I actually look at our own admissions criteria, we have lists of Indian institutions, higher ed institutions, with an understanding of what they provide. We have CBSE scores, which have been equated to the Cambridge scores that are predominantly used in the UK. So based on that, we've understood what is it, what marks, what consistency do students need to succeed, and that forms the backbone of our admissions criteria. I do want to just say one thing. That personal statement, that letter of reference, help us understand the commitment of a student to being a part of our community, and that's also important. So academics, access, and probably community would be the 3 main criteria.
That's great to hear. So academics, access, and community is what we are looking at, in our application process at USD. Now, academics, a lot of people are aware of, it's what marks they get, of how they perform in their key examinations. We have those cutoffs also mentioned in our on our website. So, how do we candidates showcase access and community? Is there a way for them to quantify these things, or maybe mention it qualitatively in their applications, or are we taking interviews, and how do interviews work? Could you touch upon those aspects as well?
Yeah. So, like I said, one of the first things that I think I underestimated when I joined this university was the extent of information and preparation and thoughtfulness that's gone into the academic criteria. So, there
Mhm.
is years and years of work that goes into defining the criteria. And it's, when you have that level of expertise, often you can actually make things very clear and distill the core of it. So, for example, in most cases for academics, it will be that overall score, but it will also be a subject criteria. And then hidden in that request for a letter of recommendation, we see how people have performed over the years. So when we ask for an LOR or we ask for a personal statement or we invite you for an interview, it's usually been thought through based on some very well defined processes and structure. How can people showcase? Our students are expected to be in a partnership with us, right? Perhaps if I look back at some of my experiences with Indian education, it is often that, the student is a recipient of what a teacher, a faculty member, a professor is saying. But here, what we're saying is you're part of that conversation. You're equal in that dialogue. And you've experienced this as just as I have. There is an innate equality and respect in our classrooms. And that is important. So, what do we expect? We expect you to be proactive in telling us about your commitment, in telling us about how you will actually bring diversity to the institution. And there are forums in which you can do that. In the application form, please use the box which says, is there something you'd like to tell us? Right? We believe that it's over to you. And in a sense, we're then preparing you for the academic programs. When you're invited for an interview, it's usually about the fact that we're giving you an opportunity to explain something a little bit more about yourself. By the way, please don't see an invitation for an interview as in any way indicative of the judgment on your application. Right? That assessment is disparate. We may call you for different reasons. And with due apologies, we'll rarely tell you why. But believe me, there is a system and there is an understanding that is very, very strong. So, Amit, I think what I'm saying is there are forums in which you can talk to us. You need to use those. Uh, our requirements are light, right? We want that personal statement, we want that letter of reference, we want a resume. And what we do look for is a well written personal statement. Low AI, low plagiarism, ideally zero, that gets noticed. We look for a well written letter of recommendation. So I'd say we look for minimal things, but make sure they are strong and high quality.
Right. So a lot of key insights there: equality, diversity, respect. Interview as a medium of not just judgment, but also looking at bringing out your unique skill sets and so on and so forth. And you've partially answered, in fact, completely answered my next question as well. But I'll still put it to you to summarize the discussion and make it more easier for students to understand. So one of the questions we keep getting asked by a lot of students is that we look at criteria which is like 78%, 85%, while there are in the Indian context there are 99.9, 90.7. So you have touched upon that in your answers, but maybe you might want to give a message to the students in terms of why our criteria are what they are. You've already answered that, but maybe a summary of that.
Yeah, I think you've really picked up what I was saying, Amit. The fact is that I had the same questions when I got associated with the project. And, I asked, oh, why is it 82% or 78% at UG levels? And why are we looking at a simple academic qualification? Why don't we have a test? So I think there are two parts to that answer. One is well-being. Student well-being is at the core of everything that we do. When a person has already completed their education, they have gone to a reputed Indian institution, do we really need to ask students to undergo one more test? Right? At the same time, of course, we understand that many students invest time in those tests, and we try and keep that as part of the context. Right? So why is it that? Part of the answer is the fact that theoretically, if we limit high quality education to a few people, then we are not really achieving the objective of education. Right. The second part of that answer is that, and that's like you said, I've referred to that the thinking and the approach is very well defined. It's very well structured. Yes, I'm proud of my alma maters just as you are. And we have a lot to be grateful to for at Indian institutions. But the fact is, I've had exposure to the level of evolution of education in the UK. And that's been interesting for me. I think Giri also referred to this, where he said, our ranking is not so much about the number, it's about what we've done to achieve that number. And so I think that's important. We understand today when a CBSE score is 82%, what does it equate to? And will it be enough for somebody who's not at 99.99% to achieve the next big thing in their life? And we can't limit our education to just a few people. We can't limit high quality education to just a few people.
Absolutely agree. Now, before we move on to scholarships, I know a lot of people are asking in chat about scholarships. We'll come to that in a moment. But before that, one final question on admissions to Hansa. With the fact that you are also doing a PhD program at MDI Gurgaon, a lot of, I mean, a few people do ask us, do 1 year master's degree make them ready to do PhDs in India or abroad? What is your take on that?
Yeah, so I think that, the shorter degrees are becoming more and more common globally and in India. So INSEAD, for example, has a shorter degree that they offer. What's taught in that degree is important. And I do want to say one word to anybody who's applying for a postgraduate program at University of Southampton. It's something that is intense. Giri, am I audible?
Yes.
It is a very rigorous and a very intense program. And so we cover a lot of ground. The fact is, there is mutual recognition of the UK degrees in India, and that's because of the fact that at a very expert level, our curriculum has been examined. There is something which actually goes back to, the regulatory framework and says that we look at it with depth. It's not only that we expect you to get admission in the next institution and do a PhD, we also expect you to be prepared for what comes in that PhD, which means you get exposure to research, you get exposure to reading, writing, research articles, academic articles, and there is a very structured support system to making sure you are ready to do research. Do keep in mind also that research is one of the strands of our triple helix. The person who invented the internet, Sir Tim Berners-Lee, was actually at Southampton when he invented the internet. And so we have a strong legacy in research, which we try and honor. It's a culture, it's a way of life with us, and that's what should prepare you for your PhD. I do want to say that the FPM program that I'm doing at MDI indicates that there is equivalent quality in Indian education. However, this is about choice. This is about giving every student a right to more opportunities in education.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if you look at the triple helix model, that's a very interesting model that we have at USD, and that's one of our key USPs. It integrates research, enterprise, and education, ensuring that whether you want to go to enterprise, whether you want to go to research, you are ready with the programs. And not just a master's program, even our undergrad programs, if you look at, they are 3 years honors programs. If you look at our undergrad programs, we cover 180 credits in 3 years, vis-a-vis other programs in India, which covers 170 odd at the honors level in 4 years. So that aids you to have a faster ROI in terms of saving a year, of your acads to move on to work or any other pursuits. Now, let's come to scholarships. I know the candidates are waiting to hear about that. So, Hansa, can we have an overview of the scholarships? What are the scholarships available, and how do we offer those scholarships to people? What are timelines and so on and so forth?
Yeah, so I'd like to just let everybody know that scholarships are offered to up to 30% of our student base in a year. And they recognize diversity of your achievements, right? So there are different kinds of scholarships, and it is important for students to keep that in mind while they are applying. So we have scholarships which actually just award academic high achievers. We have scholarships which are for change makers. We have scholarships which are linked to employability, right? So, for example, we will now be partnering with an employer for employer co-branded scholarships. That again reinforces, our commitment to ensuring, as you were saying, Amit, employability and outcomes. So there is also the presidential scholarship, which is our most prestigious scholarship, which is a complete tuition fee waiver for one undergrad and one postgraduate student. These are clearly competitive scholarships. We announce scholarships on a rolling basis. I think 2 points that I want to make very clear is, in order to apply for a scholarship, the student must have made a valid application. So your application should be in with us. It should be complete. And you can then go ahead and reference that application and apply for your scholarship. The other point is that in order to accept and come on board with a scholarship, you need to hold an unconditional offer, a valid unconditional offer. So students should really focus their efforts on achieving both of these milestones, make their applications as complete as possible and apply. Then after that, make sure that they're able to convert an offer to an unconditional offer. That basically requires meeting any conditions, providing your final results, and so on. These scholarships we've already started announcing scholarships, Amit, as you know. We've begun to announce both our merit awards, which are automatically based on certain criteria, academic criteria. And we're also announcing the competitive scholarships, the future talent scholarships, which are based on a competitive ranking. Other than presidential, scholarships are in full swing.
Right. Right. So, again, now that brings me to a question. A lot of, at least in the Indian context, a lot of universities encourage candidates to apply early for scholarships. What is our policy on scholarships? Do we prioritize people who apply early to us? Will you recommend students to apply early, or will you recommend them to apply in a particular time window? How does it work in terms of timelines of application for scholarships? What is your
Yeah.
view on that? Yeah.
So my view as a director of admissions will always be, please move fast as you can. There is a question from Gulkesh Rao who says people who are in final year of their undergrad have only received a conditional offer. You're right, Gulkesh. But if you qualify for a scholarship, you will actually get a response which says, here's your scholarship. It requires you to convert your conditional to an unconditional offer. So we understand the system. We know that basically you will get your semester transcripts sometime now. All we're saying is, once you have them, move fast. India is, and we can't really change this, it is a deeply competitive space. Scholarships obviously are subject to availability, and therefore we encourage you to quickly reach out to us. Be proactive, take that action. Yeah, so I think, Amit, that answers really both your point and what Gulkesh is speaking of. Um, the scholarship award indicates that it requires an unconditional offer to take effect, but you may still have a scholarship in hand, and that's important to ensure.
Right. I think one question a lot of people ask us is also, what is the criteria for the evaluation process for scholarships? Of course, they understand that, some are for merit, some are for, change makers. But how do we evaluate students? Let's say people who apply to a set of scholarships. What is the process like? Do they go for an interview? What precisely do you look for? Is it marks? Is it something else? How does it work on that front?
Okay, now, Amit, you're asking for the secret sauce. Yeah.
So, as a
So,
panelist, it's my job to probe you as much as I can, but so that students have the benefit of the best advice from you.
absolutely. So, without going into all details, there are two broad categories. There is a competitive scholarship, which will be based on ranking of certain criteria that I now hold internal.
Sure.
Then there are academic awards, which are based on almost on a first come first served basis. If you have achieved certain grades, right? And then we have very specialized scholarships. There are the Change Maker Awards that we are launching for undergraduate programs this year. And there are also the presidential scholarships. There it is a two-level process. So you may receive a Future Talent Scholarship. You may also be proposed for a presidential, but there you will have to walk the rigor and you will only have the results in July.
Right.
I would say, please stay connected, stay engaged. That's an important way of just making sure that you are not losing out at any point. Now, I have a message in the chat, Amit, which is Mansi. Mansi, my best advice to you is, and there is a hidden message in this, look at your emails carefully. When we send out an unconditional, we often quickly send out an invite for an interview. But if someone misses it in their mailbox, the mailbox that you would have provided, the email ID you would have provided to us, it can impact your scholarship. So I reiterate what I said. Please do stay on top of your mailbox and the email ID you've submitted to us. I'd say we're very British in the sense that we use only email. There is no WhatsApp, there is no SMS, because it is against the privacy regulations that we are bound by. Right? So unless you're watching that mailbox, you might miss an opportunity. Do reach out to me separately, Mansi, or to Giri, in order that we can give you a specific update. I hope that answers your question. Yeah. So I think, Gulkesh, there are plenty of scholarships. 30% is a generous number, and there are adequate master's program scholarships. We're also in the process of announcing the next lot, which are employer-led scholarships. Yeah.
So we'll take your questions, once we finish. So don't worry, we have enough time today to take all your questions. But to reiterate the key message from Hansa's answer, stay engaged. You'll have a lot of opportunities to stay engaged with us. We are doing these webinars on a regular basis now. We are having city-based info sessions. So if you want to meet us in person, you can reach out to us in one of those sessions. The schedule will be live on our website soon, if you're not in Delhi. If you're in Delhi NCR, we have our open day coming up on next Saturday, precisely at this time, within 7 days' time. Do reach out to us, meet us there, and also get a taste of what life at USD campus is like. You can get to meet the faculty members, the leadership, and also interact in a live classroom setting with the faculty members as well. So a lot of advantages, a lot of ways for you to stay engaged with us. Also, as Hansa rightly mentioned, make sure you keep checking your mailboxes. We are very flexible in that sense, but we will want you to look at and respond to the communications that you get. And we'll, if you have any queries, reach out to us and we'll be happy to connect as well. So, moving on to the next.
Now, Amit, before you take it any
Yeah.
further, I've had a lot of questions. I've got a couple for you.
Right. Sure. Why not? Why not?
So I think, just very quickly, I do
Mhm.
want to add to your list of events and engagement fora to look out for.
Mhm.
Our offer holder events are starting shortly. These are obviously closed door events for offer holders as they enter a new phase in their journey, and we hope to see you at those as well. You can start registering for them at the open day, or of course, you can drop an email to the admissions team indicating that you'd like more details. We started this conversation really okay, so Pranay, you watch out for the offer holder events, and I've seen your question. I will just respond. But I just have a question for Amit before that.
Sure.
Amit, we started by saying that, at admissions, we look for how best we can ensure the success of students who enter our campus. We clearly look to see how prepared they are. We look to see what kind of scaffolding they may need, as they are coming from a different education background in some cases. But we'd really like for you to share with students how outcomes are defined, how value is judged, what does success look like in a University of Southampton campus.
Right. So in the University of Southampton campus, we are looking at success and in various parameters. And the success is not just, and have kept telling this to a lot of students, not just at University of Southampton who have met, but even in my previous stints, success is not just about one indicator or of your, the jobs that you get or the salary that you get immediately after you graduate from a particular university or a campus. It's a long-term association that you have, that you carry from a particular institution, that matters a lot. It's about the alumni network. It's about being part of a network of highly successful individuals who mentor you. It's about the associations and the opportunities that you get long after you have graduated from the campus, and that those opportunities are outcomes of what you do at the campus, the kind of interactions you have with the faculty members, the kind of curriculum that you study, the kind of people, the projects that you work on. And those things you may not understand now, but you carry them long after you have graduated from a particular university and school, and especially at University of Southampton, that is a philosophy. So Giri had mentioned the skills model that we were showcasing in the presentation. Those are the skill sets that we have developed after a lot of research, and we are research focused university, which we feel are critical for people to be successful in their careers, whichever careers that they choose. And that's how the curriculum is designed to ensure that you get those skill sets when you're graduating from the University of Southampton, Delhi. Now, regarding talking specifically about employability, I will not say placements, because placements is a very small term. Employability is a much wider term which incorporates placements or your immediate opportunity that you get from campus. And we're seeing that a lot of our students are getting placed in very good organizations, already, from international organizations in India to Indian organizations to startups and so on and so forth. But I want to talk about a larger thing about employability. It's about how we make you ready for those careers which you will be working in after you graduate to various skill sets. And as part of that, one of the key things that we have, or key initiatives that we have, is called Successful Futures for our students, and which has been incorporated at both our campuses. It started out at University of Southampton, and that has been it is being replicated at University of Southern Delhi campus and the other campuses that we have in Malaysia, and so on and so forth. And this is an award-winning initiative that we have. The idea here is to make you give opportunities beyond your placement scenarios. So as part of Successful Futures, you're mentored by alumni. You have placement and alumni mentorship support for 5 years after you graduate from University of Southampton. You are made future ready, skills ready, and also ready in terms of your communication skills, the mentorship that we offer to our students. So outcomes is much larger than a lot of people in India envisage. For a lot of people in India, they just look at the first year ROI. What is the salary I'm getting after 1 year? That's not the ROI. ROI is where you will be after 15 years by virtue of being part of this particular program. So that is what I would say is what the outcomes we look at University of Southampton Delhi. Now, there's also a lot of things I'll advise students on. Do your research in terms of your skill sets, in terms of your aspirations, and then decide which courses you want to get into. Don't get into courses just because your friend is doing it, just because it seems to be the in thing right now. Look at your skill sets, your interest levels, and our courses are designed in such a way that we also enhance your already existing aspirations to concretize them into outcomes. So if you have an interest in, let's say, arts, if you also have an interest in coding, look at creative computing as a course. Don't just blindly follow and get into computer science or some of the happening courses. So that's one key advice I'll give you, and then you'll be able to make the best of the course and the curriculum that we offer at University of Southampton, Delhi.
It's really, I think, a very uh, comprehensive and
Anything that you want to add?
meaningful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very comprehensive, very meaningful, Amit. I think I just want to say that, in effect, education is not intended for the first job alone. It's indeed intended for your lifetime. Um, it's intended to bring about what you think of as transferable skills, so that in your 20s, but also in your 30s, you have the knowledge and expertise to be able to continue to bring value and stay relevant to the workforce. I do think that one of the areas that education in India has got to evolve in is employability. So, at an earlier role in a recruitment consulting firm, we often had feedback that the education that a student had was not necessarily adequate to prepare them for the first day at work. So employers were investing more and more in training and quite often questioning why education was not serving that purpose. Right? So everybody goes into a training program, and our intent is to obviously prepare students to hit the ground running, to be independent minded, to understand their interests, to know their strengths, and work in a cross cultural environment. Uh, you know, I think essentially, Amit, you and I are saying that after you get that first job, come Monday mornings, office politics, challenges at work, and we hope that your education will give you a base, not just for a job, but for a very fulfilling career.
Career, exactly.
Right. So,
So over to you, Giri. I think thank you, Hansa, for those insights. Over to you, Giri, and let's take a few questions from the chat. If there are any candidates, can type that question in the chat, and we'll answer
sure.
one by
Sure.
one.
So I would like to thank you, Amit, for hosting that conversation. For sure, most of the conversations, definitely helpful for those folks who are already into the process, are yet to start their application, and someone who is already completed and waiting for their unconditional offer. So the last 2 point of discussion that you both brought in, your education is not for your first job, for sure. And that's where we keep talking about everywhere I go. And so it's everyday skills that you're gaining, right? Like Hansa rightly pointed out, that Monday shouldn't be a problem to go to office, right? You should excitingly go because your job makes easy. I mean, your skills makes your job easy, right? So I'm glad to you both concluded on that discussion. It's as a you both bring decades of experience working in this profession, and that
Only you
summarizes
mean
you.
centuries. In my case, you mean centuries of experience.
That's what. So you bring around 30 plus, and Amit bring around 20 years plus, speaking to thousands of folks, working with thousands of folks over the year, and enabling, I would say, probably, as a university, we've been enabling lakhs of people. So that doesn't stop with today or maybe with tomorrow. So whoever would look forward to, that's what, again, important aspect is, it's not about the degree you choose, or it's also about the institution that you're getting associated with, right? So the institution is required to be committed to enable you to become the professional that you would be looking to aspire for. So that I'm sure Southern Delhi is something, like what we are trying to achieve as an institution. Of course, we are going to be proud of your achievements at the end of the day. But yes, so since we don't have much of the time, so I'm dropping two links here in the chat. One is about the if you haven't applied for scholarships yet, so here's a link for you to apply for scholarships. And those folks who haven't started filling the application yet, so do consider this is a link for you to start filling the application. If you haven't started, I won't say you're too late, but you will be late if you don't start filling the form. So I have a few questions here for both of you. We'll pick it. Amit, there is a question around the hostel and the hostel fee. Can we quickly throw
Yeah.
some?
Yeah. So hostel fee will be yearly. We have a dedicated hostel around 25 minutes drive from the campus. We have a shuttle service which runs in the morning twice and evening twice to drop you and bring you back and forth from the campus. And the campus is a self-contained campus, both for women and men, to separate floors in the same building with adequate security. All amenities we have on the campus, including a laundry, including meals, uh, 2 meals a day in the hostel when you'll be there, and all the other all the other amenities like recreation facilities and so on and so forth. And the campus accommodation fee is paid yearly. It's a yearly fee which will be mentioning on the website shortly. You'll get to hear about the campus facilities, the campus photos, the videos within the end of the coming week on our website, and you'll get more information on that. That was about accommodation. I think there's a question by Pranay Goyal also on his unconditional offer. So he's mentioned that also got mail for interview. However, had requested to postpone as CU2 exams are in progress. Hansa, what is the status? Can we postpone in lieu of exams? Would we consider his application
Yes,
after? Yeah.
yes. I just responded that we will try and accommodate that reschedule request if there is a strong basis for it. But we, just to say, Amit, we rarely reschedule more than twice.
Right.
So,
So I've just sent an email address here for anyone who has queries about the admission related questions, specifically towards your application, your current status. We may not able to give you the status at this point in time because it's an open forum. And please do send your queries to the customer service at the rate delhi.southampton.ac.uk. I have pasted the email address. Please do check. So there is already filled the form. Okay, Pranay, we will work on it. Okay, there's a question about Amit. This either of you can answer this from Rishabh. He says, I also wanted to ask whether the university provides any career guidance or counseling support to help the students decide which course or specialization would be best fit for them, which we do every day based on their interest, career goals, and future opportunities. The student may still be exploring different fields. Is there any mentorship?
Definitely, we offer, and that's what our role here is at University of Southern Delhi. Myself, my team, for those of you who might be in touch with our team members here, if you feel the need to ask us questions about the choice of courses, we are here to guide you. We are here to ensure that you make the right decisions, and that's the whole purpose of the team and the recruitment and admissions team, to ensure that you have the right information to make right choices at this stage of your career. So if you feel you need any information, you want to talk to us, feel free. We'll be happy to engage with you either on a call, on a conversation, or feel free to walk in to us at our offices, take an appointment, and we'll be happy to uh, counsel you as well.
Sure. Amit, I have an extra question. Probably this question has three parts. One, Kriti is asking the question about will we be getting the same jobs here in India or outside India, since the BTech engineering course that we have is 3 years compared to the 4 years traditional degree. That's one part of it. And hostels we covered already. Amit, if you could cover that first
Yeah.
part, then I have
Yeah.
two more parts to read.
Yeah. So we have B Engineering Software Engineering, which is a 3-year program. If you look at the curriculum, if you compare it, it is similar to what it will be for a 4-year in terms of modules and the courses taught. Of course, the teaching methodology curriculum is all of UK standards. But as I come back to the slide which you present about the MOU between India and UK to mutually accept each other's, uh, degrees. So your degree is acceptable whether in India, whether in any other part of the world, whether you go for higher studies, whether you go for roles. And in terms of skill sets, that's the whole goal of the program, to build skill sets which will make you successful in the industry. So there's no reason why any organization will say, I need 4 years versus 3 years. It's not about years. It's about the skills that you bring in to the interviews. It's about the skills that you bring into your projects. That's more important for any organization, and not how many years you spend in a particular place.
So also the curriculum is
Yeah, Hansa, you want to
go ahead.
Have to.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think this is the moment in time when students should be asking themselves that if I get a degree in India, is it going to be recognized globally? The BTech specifically is an India construct, right? It doesn't, in the UK, they will not know what the BTech is. And therefore, it's important that you think about either the BEng honors or the BSc honors in computer science, right? Even in terms of looking at roles and opportunities, there is no such thing anymore as an Indian or an international company. Indian companies have gone international. International companies have presence in India. And therefore, you need to see what kind of value you can bring in a cross-cultural ecosystem. Can you actually, are you actually comfortable in a cross-cultural environment? And do you have the skills to succeed in that environment? That's what's the core of getting that job. If you have the skills, the job will follow. And that's what you really need to have in mind. I don't know, Amit, if that's
Perfectly. I mean, you covered it very well.
That really answers, because campus itself, the university itself has been successful over delivering this program in UK for the century. And we've been evolving those curriculums as market needs, right? So there should not be a question whether how this will be recognized globally. So it's pretty well. That's where Amit brought the point that I mentioned earlier, the MOU. It takes it adopts the what has been successful in other parts of the world in the Indian market as well. But yes, it meets the requirements in terms of the module, skill set, and employability, right? So the next question that she has is fee, which is told is a semester wise or year wise. It's a year wise. Amit, if you want to add,
it's a year-wise fee. Yes.
right?
Short answer. Yeah.
Each of the fee that is being mentioned here, you can pay in a 3 installments, and the dates are mentioned on the website for the first year, and similar dates will be for the second year, third year as well for the UG programs, for the PG as well, right? So year-wise programs, what we year-wise fee, what we mentioned on the slides. And Hansa, the last part of the question is for you. Isn't this scholarship on the basis of 10th and 12th scores?
The scholarship is on the basis of 12th scores, and your overall profile. Depending on the scholarship, it is not only on the basis of the 10th score, but we have this very nuanced mechanism to assess whether somebody has an exceptional achievement and how can we recognize it. So you don't actually have to specify which scholarship you're applying for. There is one scholarship form. Apply over there. You will automatically be considered for where you have the best fit. And then, of course, please ensure, as I said, that you get your unconditional offer, you make the payment of the first 10% of tuition within the indicated deposit window. To answer something that Amit said much earlier, remember that as we get closer to the actual date of induction, which is 24th August, that
Yes.
window will shrink.
Hmm.
So those of you who are applying now and who have already received your offers, secure your place with your first deposit, that 10%. It's not a deposit, it's 10% towards your tuition fee. We don't charge a deposit. So out of your entire tuition fee, 10% is payable in advance, followed by the 3 installments that Giri mentioned. And if you have actually done that payment, then you have secured your place and your scholarship. And I think that's important to do. It's a benefit you have if you already have your conditional, unconditional offers. Over time, the window to pay and accept becomes smaller.
Sure.
Right. So use that to advantage.
Sure. So I would like to make a note for everyone, be it the participants and the panelists as well. We have crossed 12 o'clock, but I would request all of you to give another 5 minutes time so that we have a few more questions to read out. I mean, given that participants has taken time out to attend it and post the questions, I would request for that next 5 minutes more. Yeah. Okay, sure. So there is a question from Gulkesh. Hansa, you were on mute. Sorry, you said something.
No, absolutely. Please go ahead.
Sure. Thank you so much. So Gulkesh has a question, Gulkesh Rao. What mechanisms are being put in place to ensure that graduates from Delhi campus receive the same level of international recognition as the graduates from the UK campus? Either of you can answer that question.
In terms of recognition, if it's the degree you're talking about, the degree is same. There is no difference at all. You're offered a US degree. There's no distinction in transcripts and in terms of your degree. In terms of the curriculum, if you're asking, curriculum is the same curriculum which is taught, to the extent that we also follow the same schedules which happen in UK versus here. You have a lot of faculty traveling to India to take guest lectures. We have our faculty members, our UK trained faculty members. They have significant experience in the UK teaching system. You might want to go and look up their profiles on the website, and you'll find that they have significant experience in teaching there. The question papers, the examination format, the evaluation, since the degree is offered as part of US, is at par. So there's no question of ensuring in the same level. It is the same level that you are having. Now, coming to campus life, if you look at the campus that we have, I think some of you may have been part of the campus. It's designed in the same way that we have other campuses in UK. Of course, UK, we have larger number of students, so there's a larger campuses there. We are starting out here and we'll grow to that. But even at the foundational level, the kind of facilities, the infrastructure that we have is at the same standards which are being offered in the UK campus. You have Bloomberg terminals here. Very few institutions in India, in fact, I can count them on my fingers, who will have those terminals, in their campuses, which gives you access to live data for your research work, for your projects, which gives you access to certifications in Bloomberg, which will enhance your standing in the job market. And there are a lot of other such initiatives that have taken. So in terms of everything, we are at par with what we have at UK, except for maybe the weather, the local condition, and that's to your advantage, because that gives you a better ROI, so to say. The living expenses are lower. You're closer to your families. You're not worried about the geopolitical situations and so on and so forth.
So correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm putting it wrong, Amit. You're trying to summarize to say that, stay at home, earn your UK degree. Is that
Yes,
what you're trying to
that's
say?
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, sure. So I have another question here. So from Vijay G, kindly advise all the facilities in India International. Do students get a degree from Delhi, UK, which we mentioned already? What's the first batch would be getting started? Uh, Placements and all that. So I think you already covered, but however, our PG program is going to graduate. First batch will be graduating in August. We are in the process of helping them to develop those career related skills while they're busy in their academics, and they will be graduating around November if I'm not wrong. So
August. So let me talk
completion
about that
August
in terms of yeah,
graduation.
August. Yeah.
Okay.
So what one thing we have different from UK here is what we call the placement system, on-campus placement system that we have here in the Indian context. So we have a placement team that we have, which works actively to build corporate engagement, as we call it, internships, field visits, and so on and so forth. And I know a lot of you are curious about what our placements are. So our course is going to end in August. We have significant number of PG students on campus. Quite a few, in fact, majority, I would say, or more than 50% of them who are seeking placements have got offers in hand for internship come placements at very decent salaries. We can't reveal the salaries now at this stage because the placement process is still on, and we'll release a consolidated placement report maybe once the placement process is completed. But what I can assure you is that we have organizations like Deloitte, HSBC, Investec, which have made offers to candidates. We have companies like Axis Bank, Zomato, and from the Indian side, Oxford, JLL, and others who have made offers to our students at significant salaries, and they'll be working for those organizations once they graduate in August. And as I mentioned earlier, as part of a triple helix, uh, enterprise or incubation is one of the important aspects at USC Delhi. And we also encourage our students who are entrepreneurially minded to have their own startups. In fact, four of our students already, two UG and two PG, are working on their startups. And if you want, you can look at the podcast on a YouTube channel about their experiences and how we are mentoring them mentoring the startup. They already got the startup done. So in terms of outcomes, we are already there. We are working on those, and you'll hear more about it in the coming days once we complete our placement process for the first year.
Right. So thank you, Amit, for addressing that. So this question, I'm not sure who'd go for it, but so there is a question from Ramesh. He posted already earlier, but I missed it reading it. So he's looking for a course in electronics and communication, right? His query was earlier was when are you going to, when you have plans to launch it? Probably he's planning to, look for a admission in 2027, probably. So he's going to finish his education soon, it seems. But yeah, that's a query. To summarize, yes, the course is looking for is electronics and communication. So while we have introduced few more courses this year in two PG and few in UG, which is my understanding from the leaders like you that we will be keep introducing new programs as and when fit right for the market. But so your responses, please.
So whether we introduce or not at this stage, I'm not aware of this. Maybe Hansa, you might want to add. We will add more courses in the coming year, but whether it's ECE, I'm not sure. Hansa, your take.
Absolutely. We have a detailed plan to introduce courses every year, and that is discussed by the university and by UGC from year to year. So you can expect the number of programs to grow. You can expect the number of disciplines to grow. Whether that will include electronics and communication by 2027, in honesty, I don't know. And stay in touch.
Right. So that brings us to the end of all the questions that have been posted here. But thank you so much, both of you, for patiently taking those questions and also the conversation. Basically, it's very away from the traditional presentation about the admissions and scholarships. But you both have added more information than if I even presented alone. Right. Thank you so much.
I think that's the purpose of this webinar is to not make it informative, but also interactive. And maybe in future, all the participants can expect more such interactive conversations in different aspects of USD in future as well, University of Southampton Delhi campus in future as well.
Right.
It
So
was a pleasure, Giri, to be here and to interact with both of you. Thank you all.
thank you so much. I'm posting the open day registration link one more time. Anyone, if would like to register, please do register for it. So this again, Amit has shared the details to you already. You will get to meet not only we as admissions team there, but also you'll be able to meet the faculty, senior leadership, and also the students, current students who are also being there, and they will be around all through. So do register, see us at the campus, and it's an off day event starting from around 10 o'clock, 10:30 in the morning, and goes about 2 o'clock. And you will get to even experience the faculty sessions. You can choose, there are 4 sessions what have been offered for a certain period of half an hour to 40 minutes time, I guess. Faculty will be delivering a sample class for you. So that's an opportunity to experience as well. And any questions that you may have about the curriculum, case studies and assessments. Oh, by the way, all the aspects about the curriculum and the programs is a collaborative approach from both UK and India campus. It's not entirely done at one campuses, right? So yes, I'm all excited, to be frank. To see you on the open day and to be part of these programs, and we will look forward hearing from you, learning from you as you move along together. Thank you so much,
Thank you,
and thank you,
everyone. All the
Ansa.
best.
Thank you, Amit. Have a nice day, all of you. Thank you again, once again, for joining us.